we went to Pendleton where you were born.
Okay, so Flora and Floyd were born when you lived where?
Yeah, out at Pilot Rock.
Okay.
Dad was working out there.
And how about Lenora?
Yeah.
Where were you living when she was born?
We were on the dairy when she was born.
At
out of Pendleton there, 2 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, she was.
That was your first dairy job.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then from Nolan we moved up to it was a Fox, wasn't it? Yeah.
Dad talked sometime about raising watermelons at Hermiston.
Oh, down there at Echo, or down. Let's see. Yeah. Down there, this side of Echo, call it Nolan,
Oh, Echo
yeah.
or Nolan, okay.
And we put in a few acres of watermelons,
Okay.
They were selling pretty well, but the first crop we put in became a big sandstorm, a big windstorm, and just ripped the vines right out of the ground. Ripped them, we had to replant. And when we replanted and the melons got big enough and there wasn't no sale, it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't sell very well, so we just dumped a load of them out in the field. And that's where we noticed that used to go out and get all the melons you wanted. The kids that ate watermelons,
Yeah.
they remember them. And we kind of lost there. Dad got discouraged and left that old farm.
Went to Fox, huh?
Yeah. The reason why I wanted to leave, the railroad come right close to the house, you know. Not up. Used to make an awful noise coming around a curve, you know, roar like everything, jar the whole house. The twins were just at the toddling age. Oh, close to 2, I think. And Floyd used to like to wander off on that railroad, bathe him of a morning, and one morning he toddled off up towards that railroad track, and I heard the sound of the whistle coming, train. And boy, I looked out to find him, and he was a little ways away from that railroad. I grabbed him fast. Oh, I told Dad. After that, I didn't care to live in that place. We used to get flooded off by the Yvonne River, too, flooded out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was low country, and the old railroad there. I don't know why we ever moved there. And then we went to...
Just before you talk about Fox, you used to trade, you said, with an Indian woman, something to get fresh salmon.
Oh,
That happening?
well, before we moved in Pilot Rock, we had to find a house close to Pilot Rock, so we had to move out on a mission from Pendleton. That was Indian reservation, all owned by Indians.
Okay.
And we rented from an Indian.
Oh.
And Lenora was small, but always had a good garden, you know, grow carrots and tomatoes. I had tomatoes staked up like that, nice, very rich ground out there. Rented from this old Indian. And he could never remember when the rent money come around, a month. he come more often than what the money come in. Yeah, we tried to explain to him that a month time wasn't up, but they don't understand very well. And one day they brought in, they'd been down fishing for salmon. I had a good garden growing carrots, and they loved carrots and vegetables. And green beans, I had all of that. They stopped in, looking at the garden. Oh, she said, I sure trade you a big salmon for some of those carrots in that garden. They couldn't grow garden very well, Indians. They didn't know how to. We said, okay. And your salmon we looked at the salmon, it was on ice, and so looked pretty good. I had the carrots in the garden growing. And
so did you start swapping right away?
No, just that time I think. And then I remember the time an old Indian, about 90 years old, lived up about a mile on the corner. They named him Red Hawk. His name was Red Hawk, they called him. And we were the closest neighbor. And he'd got a letter from his daughter. He couldn't read English in the letter. He'd come down one day limping along. He says, "Can you read this letter to me?" You speak a little English, but a little. I said, "I'll try." Never saw her writing before. And I read much as I could to him. I said, "Yeah, I'll try." And I read that off to him. And he appreciated it and walked back. Yeah, and he used to like to go to the roundup there in Pendleton and see the roundup and the parades, the Indians, hundreds of them riding those horses, and all out in their beautiful beaded costumes. Yeah. So we finally got a house closer into Pilot Rock, about a mile out of Pilot Rock.
Okay.
Moved off of the Indian reservation, and not too easy to deal with Indians when they come around too often. I don't know if he thought we were cheating out of money, but a month they couldn't quite figure that out.
So then you moved to Fox.
Yeah, from Nolan. We moved to Fox there, and Dad worked in that mill there at Fox until he sold that, the owner. He sold that, and they tore it down or something, and then we moved to Long Creek.
Okay.
And he worked in the mill there.
You weren't there much more than about a year or two, were you, at Long Creek?
No, not very long. I think about a year or something like that, if I remember. Not exactly, but somewhere. And then from Long Creek, Dad found his job at Bates. He went to work there the rest of the years.
Yeah. And then from Bates, he retired.
He retired from Bates,
And moved to Prairie City?
Yeah, we moved out there on the house of Prairie there.
And then from Prairie City, you moved to Bend?
Yeah, we was there, I don't know, about a year or something. And then we moved down here to Bend.
Okay.
Of course, there's always a lot of other little things could go in, but they're too numerous to mention, I guess. And
well, we pretty much got you up to where you're living now.
We sure moved around a lot, you know, my
places.
too much moving.
Do you need to have a drink or something to take a break, Mom?
We can just rest a little bit, hon. I don't care.
We're trying to remember some of the things that you can remember about each of the kids when they were little that maybe they couldn't remember now. And let's start with Dale. I remember Dale when he came home there in Bates, and all of us kids wanted to touch this little baby. I had never seen a little baby before. Yeah, I remember you getting out of the car. I remember little Dale. I just couldn't wait to hold him. We all wanted to hold him, and